So we are actually only about a 4.5% move away from price becoming exciting again in terms of ADA. And it may not seem like a very daunting step, and it isn't. 4.5% move is nothing. We've seen daily candles like this before. And in fact, we did something pretty important over the last 24 hours, but also there's been this very drastic shift from what we saw last weekend, almost a complete 180. And this is something that can actually benefit ADA price in a very big way. And I want to talk about this with you guys. So if you're new or haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. Hit that bell again. It's free to do. It'll keep you updated anytime there's new content live here on the channel. So talking about ADA price yesterday, we know that price was lower. We've made a nice little bump. The daily candle for today is close to 2%, and that's a nice strong move. ADA's floating around $1.08 at the time of filming this video. And the big confirmation that we got was this bounce off of our 20-day moving average. If you guys remember, this is our alt season support. We don't like to close candles below here. And when we do, we typically have a nice throwback, kind of like we saw here. We saw this throughout the last bull market cycle. This is happening once again for ADA and many other assets again. And right now we're sitting kind of at this focal point of resistance, which is in fact $1.08. Now, know this 4.5% move is not a big one. It is the one that takes us up to about $1.12, $1.13, right? And I'll show you guys exactly why I'm referencing this in just a moment. Now, what's helping the crypto market is BTC is continuing to show a lot of strength. All right. Look at this slow and steady march to the upside. This is it almost looks like a boring move, but it is a strong move, right? Even during times of low volume, Bitcoin is showing all the strength in the world. And this is a very strong side heading into this coming week. Because remember, no institutional money on the weekends. They've been showing us they want to accumulate. And so we are probably going to see a new all-time high in terms of Bitcoin this week, which I think would instill a lot of confidence in the crypto market. So definitely something to monitor. But also what we're seeing in terms of BTC is we're once again on the verge of working into some of this short leverage liquidations again. Now, I will say there is long leverage to the downside, but this is actually pretty nice because what we're seeing is a lot of confidence on both sides of this, and both sides of this are in fact above 100K. All right. So now that being said, this is a lot of leverage. So it's something to definitely monitor. We've obviously worked up and actually liquidated this block overnight. I fell asleep like right here. So I actually missed out on this move for BTC. I last remember it at 101.709, right? Now, we did liquidate a little bit of this on the downside, so know that BTC could get a little volatile as we get into the back half of the weekend, or into the back half of today and overseas money wakes up. So the question now lies is, what is going on in terms of ADA and why is this 4.5% move for ADA so important? Well, if we look at actually the ADA liquidation heat map, you guys can see a pretty drastic difference from last weekend. If you guys remember, we talked very heavily about this 4-to-1 imbalance of longs to shorts, and we got into massive long leverage liquidations. That's why we saw the flash crash in the market. That's why we saw ADA and many other assets do this huge, I don't want to say huge, but huge drop in price. And that's what freaked everybody out. And now with this overwhelming bearish sentiment that I've seen people have in comments, and this overwhelming bearish sentiment from short interest, you guys can see that there's this big block of short leverage that is filled in right at about $1.12, $1.13, and above here, there is hundreds of millions of dollars. All right. Can't tell if it's quite $1 billion or not, but almost every single one of these blocks here is, $10 to $20 million in leverage betting against ADA price. Now, why this is so important is if we look back the other day, this was the start of the 14th, which would have been Saturday. You guys can see that we had a harsh rejection at these prices and got pushed down into some long leverage liquidations, tapping the bottom, right? And ADA is slowly but surely working its way back up right now. And what we've seen throughout time is that market makers want to wipe out liquidation that is imbalanced. And right now, again, we've seen a lot of short leverage step in. So if ADA can start to make this push towards this short leverage, we have seen here that these shorts are not closing these positions, right? We obviously got this big confirmation right here just the other day. It was the present then. It's even present in a bigger way now. So if ADA makes this push through, you might actually see a bunch of short leverage slingshotting ADA price to the upside. Now, this isn't a guarantee, this isn't financial advice or anything like that, but just kind of taking a look at what's happening in terms of ADA in general. We're still seeing this removal of supply from exchanges. We're still seeing a little bit of chop in terms of whale accumulation. Nothing really too much to speak about there. Some outflow days, some inflow days. It's just kind of riding the wave right now. But what we have seen is actually a little bit of a surge in the amount of speculators in ADA. We're up to 8% of holders that have held for 1 month or less. So a lot of people right now are actually basically positioning themselves for the next big push in the crypto market. And it's a question about, when is it going to be? It may be this week. And the reason why I'm saying that is, again, BTC new all-time high, probably coming this week. May have a nice push in terms of assets because of this short leverage and negative sentiment stepping in. Like I talked about, I think a few days ago, what we've actually seen is the fear greed index come down. So we're still in greed, but we've been slowly dropping out of here. The market is less confident. It's not as confident as it was as ADA was at, $1.20. All right. Now, that being said, me personally, I did open some actually long positions. So if you guys are interested in obviously checking out BTCC, there is a link in the description below. Again, you can earn up to $10,000 in deposit and trading bonuses. You can earn a 10% deposit bonus on your first time deposit over $500. They actually have been around for 13 years. I love this platform. It's super easy to use. And you guys can see that right now in terms of ADA price, it's trying to confirm, does it have strength here? Is it going to break through like it did here? Or are we going to get a rejection and kind of come down to this like $2 to $3 or $3 level, right? The next step for ADA just shows right here, about $1.12 to $1.13. That's where it's on a quest to right now. So I just did a 10x long in terms of ADA. I did a 10x long in terms of SHIB. I would have loved to have opened these sooner, but I didn't have any capital in here on this day back here, the 10th and 11th. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. We have some great things working in ADA's favor. It wouldn't surprise me if we get into some leverage liquidations, overseas money. If they see the market doing well, they may end up buying and kind of pushing us higher like we've seen in the latter half of some weekends. But I want to hear your thoughts. I want to hear what you think is going to happen. I appreciate you guys as always. I'm obviously losing my voice a little bit as the video goes on, but have a great day. Show your love below. Let me know your thoughts. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care.